The story begins with a mysterious man driving through the desert at night, pursued by another man. He stops his car, shoots at his pursuer, causing their vehicle to catch fire and crash into his own. Escaping the wreckage, he notices a glowing star tattoo on his palm. He tries to steal a vehicle but gets caught by a boy who informs on him, so he flees the scene. He gets approached by a local drunk, Uncle Willie, who advises him to stay at a church that has been converted into a boarding house for the night. Two local cops named Tupper and Bob investigate the crash site from earlier and are shocked to find a survivor walking out from the flames. The man informs them that the guy he was chasing is dangerous and needs to be hunted down. Arriving at the boarding house, the mysterious man notices once again the star tattoo on his palm, which has stopped glowing, its last star fading, as if it has completed its purpose. During check-in, he gave his name as Smith. The owner, Irene, took his bill and received a glare from a prostitute named Cordelia. A troubled girl named Geraldine then escorted him to his room and explained the way to town. Cordelia asked Geraldine to clean her sheets, which were heavily stained, but it was Wally, a postal clerk who clearly has feelings for Cordelia, who ended up helping her instead. The cops received a call from a cafe about a car theft earlier. During dinner, Roach, who had been at the cafe, arrives and kisses Cordelia, sharing details about the car theft incident with everyone. Being suspicious, Irene informed the cops about Smith, and the other mysterious men insisted that they all go to the boarding house. While everyone listened to Roach and Cordelia's voice blending, the cops and the mysterious men arrived, and Smith locked eyes with him. He took Geraldine hostage and demanded that the cops lower their weapons. The mysterious men insisted that Smith wouldn't harm Geraldine, and eventually he released her and surrendered to being handcuffed. Sheriff Tupper discovered Smith's wallet and revealed that his real name was Frank Breaker. Before leaving, the mysterious men demanded the stolen item from Smith, which resembled a key, but it couldn't be found. Wally pointed out the item, but the mysterious man refused to touch it and requested it be placed in his suitcase. Sheriff Tupper denied the request, explaining that the mysterious man's vehicle had also been stolen, implicating both him and Breaker in further trouble. The mysterious man had finally had enough and punched Sheriff Tupper. To everyone's shock and horror, his fist passed through Tupper's face, revealing that the mysterious man was not human. Amidst the chaos, Breaker managed to retrieve the key and used its power to frighten the mysterious man away. Outside the church and filled with rage, the collector draws his own blood on the sand, summoning a team of demonic creatures. These creatures terrorize the group, proving vulnerable only when shot in the eyes. Breaker uses blood from the artifact to fortify the building and instructs the group to hold out until morning, when the creatures will lose their power. While sealing all the exits of the building, Breaker sees a vision of 3 men nailed to a cross and another collector attempting to take the key from someone else. Unable to enter the building, the collector resorts to using psychic powers to seduce and possess Cordelia. Under his influence, Cordelia kills Wally and severely injures Irene before Breaker intervenes and kills her to stop the rampage. Roach suggests they might survive by giving the key to the demons, but Breaker distrusts them and aims a gun at Roach. As they attempt to escape through old mine tunnels beneath the building, Breaker has another vision revealing that the blood of the Lord could harm the collector. While navigating the tunnels, Geraldine discovers a boy named Danny in hiding. They encounter townsfolk possessed by demons, pushing them back. Before shooting his boss, Roach delivers a one-liner.
This is for 4 years of minimum wage, you asshole!
This triggers an explosion that breaks the blood seal, allowing the demons to invade the building and trapping the group upstairs. Exhausted, Breaker reminisces about the day he received the key from his commanding officer during World War I. In a vision, he sees the previous holder passing down the responsibility to him, anointing Breaker as the new guardian of the key. Reluctantly, Breaker explains the history of the artifact to the residents. The key is an ancient artifact that predates the universe itself. Originally, there were 7 keys, each held by powerful demons in a formless void, arranged in a circle to harness immense power. God intervened, scattering the keys and forming the universe, dispersing them among the stars. Over millennia, the demons sought to reclaim the keys and restore their dominion. The artifact Breaker holds is the last key needed to reclaim power. To protect it, God had a thief named Sirach fill it with the blood of the Lord. The guardians of the key, immortal while holding it, have since passed it on, refilling it with their own blood upon death. Amidst the turmoil, Danny disappears, prompting Geraldine to rally everyone to search for him. During the commotion, Roach stealthily removes the key from Breaker's satchel. While searching for Danny, the Collector attempts to possess Geraldine, but she resists his influence. In the church attic, Irene and Bob uncover Wally's plan to attack the post office with a trunk full of weapons. Meanwhile, the Collector successfully possesses Uncle Willie by manipulating him with visions of women and booze. Willie attacks Breaker while Geraldine unable to hurt Uncle Willie. During the confrontation with Willie, Roach strikes a deal with the Collector, offering his life in exchange for the key. Despite the agreement, the Collector ultimately betrays and kills Roach.
I forgot to mention, I lied.
Breaker manages to retrieve the key during the battle, while Irene and Bob sacrifice themselves to thwart the remaining minions. In the attic, the Collector possessed Danny, who transformed into a demon and inflicted mortal wounds upon Breaker. Geraldine intervened and killed Danny to protect Breaker. As Breaker dies, he appoints Geraldine as the new guardian of the key, which deactivates all blood seals. Covered in blood, the Collector overpowers Geraldine and takes the key from her, unaware that she has smeared some blood on her mouth. When the Collector offers her a place at his side and prepares to take her heart as a trophy, Geraldine silently refuses. In a defiant act, she confronts the Collector and spits blood from the key into his face. This causes him to revert to his true demon form before he is ultimately destroyed. At dawn, Geraldine refills the key with Breaker's blood and boards a bus with her cat, sealing the door behind them. Further down the road, the bus stops to pick up a stranger who declines to get on, opting to catch the next one instead. Dressed identically to his predecessor and carrying the same suitcase, Geraldine realizes that he is the next Collector. After exchanging a glance in passing, the new Collector begins to follow on foot.